Hi friends, welcome to the Cozy Cottage Crochet Podcast channel. My name is Hannah. Typically, this is a podcast all about crochet. A little bit of knitting, sometimes sewing or cross stitch or other crafty things that I get up to. And today is not going to be that kind of video. I actually did record an entire podcast. I should say almost an entire podcast because it ends very abruptly. I got through almost everything, but then there was a big crash. Nova dropped a bunch of stuff. The baby woke up, started wailing, didn't go back to sleep, and it was chaos for the rest of the day. So I recorded that, and that is what was scheduled to be posted today. Today in your world when you see this, it's Saturday for you. Today, right now, it's Thursday for me. So I recorded the podcast yesterday on Wednesday. And I feel like I've been needing to record this video for a little while, and I just haven't done it because I don't have time. I don't have emotional space. And I also wanted to have like a clear head, which I probably will never have. So that's a pipe dream. So let me start by saying a couple of things. One, there's not really going to be any crochet or knitting in this video. So if that's all you're here for, just come back. Come back on a different day at a different time, and there'll be another video with plenty of yarny goodness in it. The other thing I want to say is I am not posting this to complain. I am going to complain a little bit, but I'm not like, my intention is not to be like complaining about everything. I do not need advice. I especially do not need medical advice. Like, I am posting this because when I recorded the podcast, you'll see if you watch it. I decided I'm going to post it in a couple of days. I'm very like upbeat and positive and happy about my yarn. And it's not fake in the sense that being around yarn, working with yarn makes me happy. It makes me upbeat and positive. And it's something that brings me joy. And talking to y'all is something that brings me joy. But when I finished recording it, it just felt really disingenuous. And maybe it's because of the abrupt stop and I didn't have a chance to kind of explain anything about what's going on in my world at the moment. So that maybe is part of it, but like, it's like a really happy snapshot. And while it is a true snapshot, and that I am very happy to be working on those projects, it's not a true snapshot of my actual life. So it felt a little disingenuous to me. And so I was concerned that it would just add fuel to the fire of this whole social media internet world where we all live. We all spend a large amount of our time going through life thinking that everyone else has it easier than us. Why can they get so much done? Why are they so positive all the time? Why are they so happy? Why don't they have any mental health struggles? It must be something wrong with me that I am having all these issues or these struggles in life. And that's just not true. Like, the amount of people I know who are going through something really terrible and devastating is really large. And like, would you guess it from their social media? No, because most people are really private. I'm not really private. I don't know if that's just a personality trait or like what, but I tend to share things and I really haven't been sharing too much lately. And I think it's been weighing on me. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is I'm not looking for like medical advice or general advice. I'm not looking for like sympathy. This is simply a video to say that if you are going through something that is really hard, that you are not alone and you're not crazy for feeling overwhelmed and overstimulated and like everything is out of control. And I will post the podcast episode in a couple of days. And you can go look at all the new projects I've started because I've started quite a few. Instead of working on all of my whips. Is that a coping mechanism? Starting all new projects? Probably. But I also just want to be real with you. And like, that's part of why I'm here. Like, I know that some people are like, you are strangers on the internet and I will tell you nothing about my life. That's not me. Like, there's certain things I have to keep private for like safety's sake, like certain details about my kids and etc. But like, I do feel like we're friends. Like, especially those of you who comment every time and have watched and been here for years and years now and have watched my kids grow up from like when I didn't even have kids until now. So I do feel like we're friends. And so I do want to share. So all of that, all the disclaimers aside, I am having a hard time. And I recorded a video, I think sometime in May, a couple months ago now, and I was like, I am dreading the summer for a lot of reasons, but one of them is the lack of school. Nova is my 4-year-old. We're going to be together all the time, and I do not think it's going to go well. And guess what? It's not. And if you have a high needs child or a special needs child or an extra needs child, whatever you want to call it, if you have a child on the spectrum, if you have a child who has any kind of anything that gives them extra needs, then you know what it is like. You know what I'm about to say. And if you don't have a high needs child, then I can't explain what it's like. And I'm not trying in any way to talk bad about her, because she is in many ways miraculous. Like, she is so intelligent, and she feels things so deeply, and she's like this magical light. She's almost like a bug zapper. Like, she emits this magnetism that just draws people to her, and she has since she was born, and then she zaps them. She's a lot better about that than she used to be. When she was little, she would literally scream at people, scream in their faces. She did not want to be looked at, talked to, touched, like, get away from me. She would literally shout at people if they got too close. Once she learned how to talk, move back, with both her hands out like this, which was an improvement over screeching at the top of her lungs. And I don't think that she's on the spectrum. I honestly have no idea, but I don't think she is. She is for sure a highly sensitive child, a highly sensitive person in general. And if you have one of those, you know what that's like. Could she have something? Sure, probably, but she's only 4. So, like, the conversation around that hasn't even started. But she is extremely, extremely sensitive. And school was a godsend for her and for me, because it gave her 6 hours a day of completely structured time, A, with friends. She's a very big extrovert. And B, there was a plan. There was the same people there every single day. So she knew what to expect. She knew when to expect it. She knew who to expect. She knew when lunch was, when snack break was. Like, the structure and the routine give her a sense of calm that she does not have anywhere else in her life. And I know everyone's going to be like, oh, all kids thrive on structure and routine. Sure, absolutely. But, like, when I tell you, when she was tinier, like, I would have to go through the plan of our day 10 times before we left the house, or she would just not be able to handle it. Like, if there was something changing in the plan, couldn't handle it. And we have worked a lot on that. Like, we're a lot more flexible than we used to be. But I am not capable of providing that kind of structure for her that school does. And I'm also, like, just because I have another child, we have different things to do every single day. Like, some days we have doctor's appointments, some days someone sleeps in, some days, like, I can't provide the same exact thing every single day. It's just not possible. And I am too scatterbrained to stick to it, even if I could. So, like, the structure and routine paired with the fact that she was able to make real friends made her blossom like a beautiful flower. Like, it just filled all the parts of her soul that needed filled, and it gave me a break. It has been 5 weeks. We have not had school. And I remember, I think I said in that video that what I was worried about is that we would be right back in the same situation when it was just me and her all day, every day. Not just getting on each other's nerves, but, like, fundamentally having difficulty coexisting. And a lot of this is my own limitations as a person, and my own, like, the threshold, the ceiling of my ability to handle things and deal with things and be overstimulated by things, which is pretty low. And so if my capacity were higher, perhaps we would not be having the struggles that we are. But I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Like, every child goes through a why phase, right? Nova, since she learned how to say why, has been asking why aggressively. And she's almost 5. I don't think it's going to stop. Like, I'm trying to think of a way to explain the difference between a highly sensitive child or a child with high needs and just a regular child, because I have one of each. Like, I have her, and then I have Noah, who cannot be dissuaded. When he sets his mind to something, like, you are not getting him off of that track. Like, he is the most determined individual I have ever met. But he also is unbothered by things, right? And if you have a highly sensitive child, they're going to be bothered by things. And so, like, I don't know anyone else who has a child like her in my actual, like, physical, real life circle. Everyone else has regular, non-high needs children. And so they're like, oh, well, just do this, it'll fix it. Or just do that, it'll fix it. Or like, maybe don't. Like, when she was little, if I could tell, I'd be like, we have to go, it's nap time. If she is 5 minutes over her nap time, the rest of the day is going to be terrible. And they'd be like, no problem, like, just push it, it'll be fine. You don't understand. It will not be fine. Like, regular kids have meltdowns over like a toy at Target. Like, oh, I can't get a toy. Or like, oh, I have to leave somewhere. I have to leave the park and I don't want to leave. That's regular, normal child behavior, right? Highly sensitive child will have meltdowns over things like the wind, the texture of things, the clothing that's bothering them. Like, she has been melting down about the possibility of people dying for a year and a half now. What 3-year-old, I think she was about 3 when she first discovered that concept, and no one around her has died except for one old guy that she like tangentially knew at a fast food restaurant. So like, she's not been to a funeral. There's been no one in her immediate circle that has died. Like, she figured out what that concept was, has been terrified of people dying ever since. And it's been more than a year and a half at this point. Like, there are things that affect her that don't and probably will never affect Noah. And so things like a lack of structure, like yesterday we went to the Children's Museum. The day before that we had a doctor appointment. It was 2 completely different days. It's really hard on her and it wears on her to not be able to know what to expect every single day. And my capacity right now is so low that I am not doing a great job at setting the stage. Like, I don't know that I ever did a super great job at it, but I know that I used to have more capacity to do that. And especially when she was smaller, I would say, here's what's happening today. And I would remind her over and over and over again, like, here's what's happening. We would go somewhere and be like, this is what I expect from you. Like, we're going in Target. We're not buying any toys today. This is how I expect you to act. If you feel like you can't act like that, you need to tell me that you need a break. Like, we would go through this whole thing every single time. And I kind of stopped doing that. And I need to get back into doing that, because without the structure of school every single day, she's like adrift. And I can see it. I can see it in her face. I can see it in her eyes. I can see it in her emotions, that she is like exhausted by the lack of structure. It's not like we have no structure. Like, we eat dinner at the same time every day. We eat breakfast at the same time every day. Like, we go on a walk every morning. Like, there are patterns that we live our life by, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And there have been so many tears. Like, she's just crying so much. Like, she misses her friends. She misses school. She was worried about someone dying. Like, she started clinging to people again, like, for dear life. Like, our friend came over, she didn't want to let them leave. She was like holding onto their leg. And that is a behavior that I haven't seen in a while, which means I know she's worried that you're going to go away and I'm never going to see you again. She cried this morning when I left the house to do a wedding, and she hasn't done that in quite a while. So, like, we're a little bit on the struggle bus where that's concerned. And again, this is not her fault, right? This is how she's built, and she has the most amazing qualities about her. There is a reason that everyone who sees her wants to talk to her and finds her hilarious and wants to be in her circle, because she is a nova. Like, she is an exploding star. She's just magnetic, and it's it's amazing. She's miraculous. And I don't know how to, I'm not, I'm doing my best. And many days, it feels like that's nowhere near good enough. Anyways, we're on the struggle bus. And literally, I don't know, yesterday morning and this morning, like, we were both crying because she's just such a grump when she gets up in the morning. Like, she's so angry in the morning. She's not a morning person. And okay, at some point, like, that's just who you are, right? You're just not a morning person, but like, she can't have coffee and she's not gonna hang out by herself in her room until she's pleasant. So she just comes in and like terrorizes everyone for a solid hour. And then she gets in trouble for being unkind and abrasive and et cetera, et cetera. And anyways, we were both crying this morning, and I finally was like, look, like, I don't know what to do. Like, what are we going to do? We have to find a way to live with each other for the rest of the summer. We can't be fighting every morning. I don't want to put you in a timeout every morning. I don't want to punish you. Like, I want to have a good relationship. Does this feel good to you? Because it feels terrible to me. And she's like, it's terrible for me too. And I'm like, I know. So, like, we're going to have to figure out a way to not be like this. And then she cried her eyes out because she misses her friends, which I know is the problem. I know that's the problem. But like, she gets really angry about it. Instead of being like, I'm sad that I miss my friends, I'm going to let that emotion out. Everything is covered up by like this explosiveness. And it probably wouldn't get to the point that it's getting, but I feel like my reserves are so depleted that I am not de-escalating effectively. And so it's just like volcanoes all day long. And sometimes I literally can't, and I can't apologize for that, right? Like, sometimes the baby poops. Sometimes no one needs help. Like, I cannot be everything to all people. It's just the fact I'm just two persons. I'm two persons. I'm one person. I have two hands. What? Jen from Cinnamon Stitches. Is it? I feel like I'm going to misquote this, and I'm so sorry. I think that Jen's mom used to say, God only gave me two hands, meaning I can only do so much. You can give me 20 hands. I can't do everything. And I feel like I have said that. When did you say that, Jen? I feel like maybe you've said it like 100 times over the years, but it was sometime recently in the last few months. And I have like been living by this mantra. If you don't watch Jen from Cinnamon Stitches, you should, because I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. Jen is also a magnetic, beautiful light and a wonderful human being. And she posts videos all the time. And very frequently, when I am stressed, which is very frequently, and I have a moment, I'll put in a headphone, just one, so I can keep an ear out while the kids are destroying everything. And I'll just listen to her. Even sometimes I'll just like listen to a tutorial, because I don't know, you have a way of calming me down. So life is stressful, but I'm glad you're in my life. Thank you for existing and for making beautiful content on the internet. And anyways, that was a tangent. What I'm saying is I only have two hands. I can't even hold both of them at the same time. They're huge. So that is one thing that's been going on. The other thing is work. I feel like I am so far behind on work. Everything is getting done last minute. There are things that are not getting done at all. And this isn't like, you can only do what you can do situation. Like, there are things that I need to be doing, and I simply do not have the ability or the capacity to do them. It's just a fact, right? Again, I only have two hands. And when someone is crying their eyes out, I can't be doing social media stuff, like for my job. When someone is doing something dangerous in the backyard, I cannot be writing a sermon. Like, it's not working. And probably it's very, very likely that in the next quarter, maybe 2 quarters, depending on how things go, that I will be looking for a part-time job, some other fashion, just because of the financial situation of my current job. I am not in any way, shape, or form asking for support financially No. I'm just saying the reality of the finances for the organization I work at since the hurricanes have hit, since the hurricanes hit Florida last year. A lot of people were displaced or moved, or just like there's been a big adjustment. And so it's very, very plausible that I will need to take a pay cut just to keep everything going for my job. If you don't know, I'm a pastor of a tiny little church. So it's not like I'm some major organization. I'm literally the only employee. And I'm pretty much willing to do whatever it takes to keep that going because it's important to me and it's like one of my children. So, but I may need to replace like half of my salary, which honestly isn't that much. I make like $16 an hour. So I could make more doing literally anything else probably. The problem is the kids. And my backup plan was always to find a couple of extra kids to watch because that is, you can get paid a fair amount for doing that. But just mentally, I do not think I can handle any extra kids at the moment. I can barely handle the ones that I have. So now I'm like, what, I'm going to go like wait tables on the weekends maybe. Like I could probably get half my salary doing that at a nice restaurant. I don't know. So it's just a thing that's like circulating in the back of my mind. And on top of all of that, my iron is really low. Again, I don't need medical advice. I'm working on it with my doctor. The wheels turn very slowly. So I'm very tired. Just all the time I'm tired. And like, I'm doing stuff that's making my life harder. Like I'm forgetting things. Like I'll start a load of laundry, forget that it's in there for days until I go to do the next load of laundry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's laundry in here. I know I have to wash it again. I've been mixing up appointments. I actually missed a deadline on something. I'm finding myself procrastinating things that I haven't procrastinated in a really long time. Like responding to text messages and emails and like little things that take small amounts of energy. I'm like pushing them out because what I need is to use a big amount of energy to like regulate my children and keep everybody moving in the same direction. And so like, it's like my brain is actively making my life harder on top of being so tired. And so many people I know are having a really difficult time as well. Like in my own family, I don't know that I want to say who because I don't want to like put their business on blast, but one of our very beloved family members has been not home for 4.5, 5 months now. And by not home, I mean like in the hospital, in rehab, like just going through the worst health time ever. And they have a really, really high needs child as well. And they're in a different state. They're really far away. And so it feels like there's nothing I can do other than pray and hold them in my heart. And I want to do stuff. Like I want to reach out and like I want to help. Like if I didn't have little kids, I'd go up there for a week and help. And I feel stuck that I can't do anything about it. My uncle, my dad's brother, my favorite uncle on my dad's side, he just had a stroke and is paralyzed on his left side currently completely. It's been like 2 weeks. And again, they live 1,000 miles away. There's nothing I can do. Like I can't fix that. I can't go help. I can't go visit. I can maybe send a card, but like there's nothing I can do really, but it like weighs on my heart. And a lot of really close people to just my life, and maybe this is a higher percentage because I'm a pastor and so I get access to the parts of people's lives that a lot of people don't get access to. But I have a friend who, due to unforeseen circumstances, not death, but just like things that came to light all of a sudden, is suddenly a single mom of 2 kids and who are 6 and 3. And so like I've watched them a couple of times and I'm happy to do that because I can't imagine being in that situation. Like just overnight, your entire world being insane and upside down, and it's going to be like that for a really long time. So that I can do something about. So I have watched the kids a couple of times from like 2 or 4 p.m. until 11 p.m. at night so she can work. I have another friend who is going through such a hard health time. She doesn't have cancer, but she's lost all of her hair. She's can barely leave the house, honestly. And she's just having such a difficult time with her health. She's so ill, and she has a little boy that is a couple of months younger than Noah. And I'm just like, gosh, how are we all managing all of these really heavy things? Not to mention the state of my state, the state of the country, if you live in the United States, the state of the world. Like, it seems like everything is too much. Everything is, and I know that there's only so much I can do, but like, it hurts my heart a little bit that I cannot be the kind of friend and the kind of family member that I would want someone to be for me if I were going through those hard things, because like, we're barely keeping it together over here. And like, that's where everyone is, right? Like, if someone asked me the other day, because my church is full of people who have been like pretty seriously hurt, usually, by other church people and their families and things like that. And they're like, how can you possibly, like, how do you still have patience and love for other people, that like the people that are doing all of this? And my answer is, because if you scratch deep enough, if you go beneath the surface, they also are just as hurt. Like, everybody is carrying something really heavy. Everybody has a secret that you don't know that would probably break your heart, like, or multiple, right? Because most people just don't share that kind of stuff. And we just go around assuming the worst of each other, or we go around assuming that everyone else has it easier than us. And it's not true. Like, and if someone does have it easier than you, it's not gonna last. And I'm not saying that in like a pessimistic way. I'm saying that in like, life happens, like death happens, illness happens, car accidents and job losses, and all of this stuff happens. Like, maybe you're going along just fine with your one perfectly regular child, and then you suddenly have one that has really high needs. Like, stuff is going to happen. And the little, like, on social media that people are doing all day long, like, I have specifically a friend who is posting all the time about how wonderful her family is, and I'm like, girl, you lying. You are lying. And I get it. I know why you want to lie, but I'm like, you guys don't even like each other. Hello from my car office. I got interrupted 3 times trying to finish that video, and then I had to wake this baby up, take him to the doctor. He was not a happy boy about being woken up from his nap early, probably an hour early, and he was not happy about being at the doctor, and he cried the whole time. He's fine. He's acting out how I feel. Anyways, I just wanted to let y'all know that whatever you think about people on the internet, right? Like, if you think everyone has so much time or is like doing so much better than you, or like, I promise we're not. And I'm sharing that not for sympathy, but so that you know, if you're going through something heavy, that you're not alone. Because there's a lot of heaviness going around in the world and in our country, and just in my life personally. Like, there's just a lot of things that people are carrying, and it doesn't get any easier. I think we just go through seasons, right? And eventually, if you keep moving, the terrain will change. But sometimes life just sucks. Sometimes truly life just sucks and everything is chaos and there's not any real fixing it. You just kind of have to keep going. Did you hear that giant sigh? I heard that giant sigh from the back seat. Sorry if the audio is crazy because we're in the car. So I just wanted to come on and say I appreciate y'all. I am so grateful to be surrounded by such an uplifting and supportive community. And I will post the podcast of me being happy and talking about yarn. I'll post it. I promise I'll post it. I got to get it edited and uploaded. But for now, yes, buddy. Did you say mama? You said mama just to complain at me? Mm-hmm. For now, I just want you to know that you're not alone and you're not crazy. And as much as I can be here for you, I'm here for you, even if this is just like an hour that we spend together every 2 weeks, and that calms you. Like listening to Jen calms me down. if that's what this is for you, then I'm so grateful that you're here. And if you get anything out of this, I hope that you get that you're not alone and we're in this together. And yeah, so love you all. Thank you for being here. And we can do it. We can make it if we try. Just the several thousand of us. You and I. Say bye-bye. That was the saddest bye I've ever heard, which fits with this video. See you, friends.